Hi, Jesse. What brings you in today?
Well, I'm having some uncomfortable feelings around my communicating with my mom.
Okay, talk more about that.
Um, she's overseas, and so it makes it hard because it ends up being her schedule instead of mine.
Mm,
And so because it's really hard for her to get to a phone, she like gets really angry if I don't have time to talk. And sometimes because of the time difference, I'm like right in the middle of work and since I work at home, she keeps thinking, well, just set it down. And I'm like, but I had a client, you
mm,
know. So I'm she's starting to like get a little aggressive on just being kind of like passive aggressive with, come on, don't you love me, kind of stuff. And it's more of a feeling than actual words, but oh my, it's stressful.
talk about like the stress that it involves you. Like what other feelings do you feel when you have this come about? Like for instance, if you see your mom's name pop across your phone, what kind of feelings?
Oh, I get anxiety because it's like, oh great, she's gone from the mountains to the village to she's a missionary. And so she's gone
Mm,
to the village to make that phone call at the headquarters. And it's like, and now I've got to like stop what I'm writing and then I lose my train of thought. And it's like, I love my mom, but there's no schedule here. And she doesn't seem to understand just because I work from home doesn't mean that I can, just whenever, just like stop. And our phone calls are a good 45 minutes long.
mm.
And then I end up turning in my work late or missing a deadline with a Zoom call. And I'm like, oh my gosh, but she's really hard to get off the phone.
Mm. Talk about your relationship with your mom. Are you close or
Um, yeah, we're close. We talk more. She's a little closer to my sister.
okay?
Um, I'm actually closer to my father.
Okay.
Um, but he usually doesn't come down to the village, so I don't get a chance to talk to him. So mom tries to tell me everything about dad. Um, we usually end up just talking about what they're doing. And I think when I hang up, I feel like she didn't really ask me about myself, and yet I gave some time that I didn't have.
Mm.
So I feel a little bit, like irritated.
Mm.
So yeah,
Do you feel like she's trying to build a connection with you?
I think I think the best of her ability. I know she didn't have like a loving mother, and I think she's always struggled with how to pull that off. I know she loves me. There's no doubt. But we have a little more difficulty talking. It's more of since I know she's trying so hard, I feel like I can't really say, "Oh, there's mom, I can't talk," because I know she's trying really hard.
Yeah.
But
Have you have
I
you
just
tried
don't want to.
Oh, go ahead.
It's okay. I just don't want to be disrespectful of
No.
her because I've always been very respectful of her, and I know she's trying. Now that she's getting older, I can see her really trying, and I just don't know how to tell her I can't talk.
Have you how would you want to talk to her about that?
Well, maybe I'd need to go through dad and say, here's the time chain, the time zones. You've got to figure this out. But I guess she wants to go down in the morning and
Mm.
it's I don't know. Yeah, I guess I'd have to talk to dad and explain the time zones and the hours I'm working and maybe I haven't told them I end up on Zooms now and
Yeah.
now that I'm like selling my things and it's like it's not just me sitting at home.
Gotcha.
Maybe I haven't been clear.
Have you tried talking to him about like what your daily schedule is or like about what your work is like? Because maybe your father can also communicate to your mother
That's
about
true.
what you do.
Yeah, maybe since I don't get a chance to talk to him, I could write them I think it takes 3 weeks to get there, but hey. Yeah, I can write them and say, this is what's happening. And I explain my work increase and that it's not what it was when they lived here. So maybe I'm not being clear.
Yeah,
Maybe,
but
yeah.
I mean, it's also, you got to understand that it's also your mom's responsibility too, because
Mm-hmm.
she's depending on you,
Mm-hmm.
and you're grown and you're in college, and you know that's important to you, and you want your mom to
Yeah.
realize that you need that dependence.
Well, they have really been supportive with me going to college, and what I'm doing, my senior year here is I'm actually earning an income with what I went to college for, and that should make them really proud. So, I mean, I think that that would really excite them if I spent time explaining that all to them and, hey, this is what's happening and, my life's changing. Thank you. You know.
Do they
Yeah.
have email by any chance?
They do. I don't know how often they're going to the village, and that's where the email is. So,
Gotcha.
um, but yes, that's a great idea. And you know what? Um, you're encouraging me here to send them like more information about what I'm doing instead of me just assuming they're
Mm-hmm.
gonna ask and then they don't, and then I get my feelings hurt, and then I'm angry it took my time. So
Exactly.
I think I could send them pictures of what I'm doing
Mm-hmm.
and maybe involve them a little more and let them know how happy I am they helped me through this time of my life. That's
That's
a great idea.
that's perfect. And then like,
Okay.
and just so you know, it's okay to say no. No doesn't always have to be, no can be in your vocabulary just as much as yes.
No to answering the phone.
Yes.
Ah, okay. That would be really, well, you know what? I have been hanging up on Zooms, and that's not cool when you're
No.
trying to make a name for yourself. Okay, I am gonna make sure that when I say no to that phone call, knowing she worked so hard to get to the phone, I'm not gonna hang up on Zooms anymore. And if it's gonna affect my workday, I won't answer.
Well,
But
and just know that you saying no is just like her not being able to get to the phone. It's just
oh,
amount as work, same work.
okay. Well, I hadn't thought about that.
Mhm.
Okay, that's great.
Yeah.
That's encouraging.
So
I,
my other question would be like, how do you help with this anxiety?
I think for me, um, the best idea is to confront it by saying it like maybe in my letter where I tell them how much I appreciate them, that it stresses me out when I see she's calling, knowing that she works so hard to get to the phone. So maybe for me, working with my anxiety would be to be proactive in getting my reasons out there why I feel anxiety. My parents are really cool people. They'll hear me. I think I haven't been clear.
And communication is important, and being clear is
Yeah.
important. So, and maybe also your mom's not being clear with you too.
Mhm.
So think about that. You're not being disrespectful to yourself. You're not being
Mhm.
disrespectful to your mother. You're
Mm,
you're trying to be able to find that balance, and balance is key.
true. Good. That's good. All
So I
right.
think, Jesse, we'll talk more about this, and I'll figure out, and we'll discuss how it went, and we'll
Mhm.
be able to see how they responded to your emails and phone calls.
Wonderful. I'm looking forward to getting this off my plate.
Wonderful.
All
Thank you.
right. Thank you.